Sure.
Check
Sure.
that. Well, I'm here with Robert George from the New York Post. We're going to pick his brain on the fundamental issue of what is racism.
Well, obviously it's a difficult question, and you're going to get some different views from various people. I look at it at the basic root, and that is racism is one or more individuals having the belief that they are superior to another ethnic or racial group simply because of their race, simply because of the color of their skin. Now there are others who would say that the only ones who can actually be racist are a particular group that is in the majority, that has the trappings of power, and they use that power to subjugate or oppress other minorities. That's the more expansive view of racism.
But you were saying before that you thought that anybody could be racist, so it doesn't really matter
No, I mean,
whether you're racist in the majority. Like if you're in Nigeria, most people are black, but still a white person can be racist.
We see. We talked about. You just mentioned Africa. I mean, we saw in terms of the horrible civil war in Rwanda that went on
Right.
In the 1990s. They're of the same race, but different tribes, and they were horrific towards one another. I mean, we saw in Nazi Germany how white majority Germans went after Jews. I mean, there are so many cases of horrific acts, bigoted acts of one group over another, and sadly, racism is part of the human condition, like many other sins.
So, if you conclude that somebody has bad character because they're black, would that be racism?
Well, it depends on how you're formulating it. If you conclude that a black person has bad character based on your personal interaction and what you've seen,
No.
what you've seen from that person.
You're misunderstanding my question. My question is, if you conclude that somebody has bad character because they're black,
That would be an example of racism. Yes.
and if you conclude that somebody has bad character because they're white,
That would also be an example of racism. Exactly.
and so if you won't let somebody into your club organization because they're black,
Yes, that would also be racism as well. Oh, that would be racist.
right? And if you won't let somebody into your club organization because they're white, that would also be racist.
That would also be racist as well.
So isn't the essence of racism the fact that the person uses race as a factor to judge other people's character, their merits, or their skills, instead of focusing strictly on their actions?
That's exactly right. I mean, and that was obviously the message of Dr. Martin Luther King, 50 plus years ago,
Right.
when he asked when he asked for an America where his children would grow up judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin.
So we want to see their actions, the facts about their character, not their race. And so if you use,
We want to make a judgment based
well,
on
we do, yeah, we don't want to judge people based on their race. We want to judge them based on the action. So if you use race as a factor to evaluate somebody's character, or their skills, or their merits of entry into an organization, that's racist, right?
I could not have said it. I couldn't have said it better. Could not have said it better myself.
Okay.
And we look we see these different aspects of of envy and anger and so forth. I mean, we see it on an often see it in an intra-racial basis before. I mean, we talked about Rwanda, we talked about Africa, and it's so very easy to make. It's sad that that all of us being human, it's very easy for us to say, oh, this person treated me a specific way. We are of a different group. We're a different tribe. We're different races. So it's because of that. When it could have just been that he's a bad person and he's treating me this way, or maybe I'm a bad person and he's made a judgment that I'm a bad person, and so that's why he's treating me in such a fashion.
Like what just happened to us a moment ago, where we were doing an interview in a specific place where I had done interviews before, and security came and told us we had to leave. Now, none of us, neither you nor I nor the camerawoman, concluded that it was racist. We assumed that they were just implementing a rule that we were not aware of.
Well, it's